have to talk about the 1000% trade that could be happening right now with Baby Doge. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this is financial advice, but let's go over this. So, first things first, I kind of wanted to just show some numbers here. The max total for all gains that Baby Doge has ever gotten to this point, 682%. That's just at this level at 8Z 1300 from the bottom. But we got all the way up to 8Z 6500 at our all time high. That is a significant amount. I just kind of want to show you guys what that market cap would look like at that price and at that level. So all you would have to do is take the current circulating supply and multiply it by the all-time high, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 8Z 6500. That's 1.1 billion in market cap. Okay, just remember that at our all-time high, we were around 1.1 billion market cap. That's a lot. Now, let's look at where we would be at 8Z1 because if you all have ever seen any of my price prediction videos, I say 7Z1 is now the new price prediction. I used to say 6Z1, but 16 billion market cap right now doesn't seem too realistic. So let's say 7Z1 and look at our market cap at that level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 1.69 billion in market cap. So we already got to 1.1 billion market cap. I believe we could also get to 1.69 billion market cap as well. So from the current prices, and not even really the current prices, we're going to look at this from 8Z1 because I think we might have one more opportunity to buy at 8Z1 before it goes off, but we might not. There might not be an opportunity. So you might have to get in now. So we'll do this prediction from now and also at 8Z1 as well. Okay. So we are going to scale things back here because this is the 1000% trade. So what we would have to do here is take our circulating supply again and then multiply it by 7Z1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, you see that 1.69 billion. All right. So let's say that we take $1,000. I think the average person in Baby Doge has somewhere around like $1,000 to play with. All right. So let's take 1,000 and divide it by 8Z1, and then we'll do the current price after 8Z1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at 8Z1, obviously that gives us 1 billion or 1 trillion inside of coins. So that's 1 trillion coins. Multiply that now by 7Z1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 or 7Z1. So that's $10,000. All right. So we're pretty much going up 1000% inside of this trade because it's 10xing itself from $1,000 to 10,000, from 8Z1 to 7Z1. So this is the 1000% trade I'm talking about because if you get in at 8Z1 and then you just hold it no matter how long it takes till 7Z1 and then sell it, that's 1000%. And here is the thing about this 1000% trade, because if you would have been waiting for 7Z1 the whole time, like you're like, you know what, we're already at 5100 or 8Z51, like back here. We'll get all the way up here eventually. We'll get all the way up to 7Z1 eventually. And then if you would have held out, you would have lost the opportunity to sell when you could have sold and then bought again at the bottom at 8Z1 when it bottomed out. And then you can come all the way up here. And then you're like, oh, we're at 8Z6300. It's going to get to 8Z1 now. I ain't going to sell. And then boom, goes all the way down. And now you're left here sick at the bottom. It's less than what it was when you got in at 8Z1. Now it's at 9Z7. So then you're like, you know what? It'll come back. And then you wait till here. And then we're at 4,400. And we're like, yeah, we're going to get you all-time highs, go to 8Z7. Nope. Down again. Happens the same thing again and again. So the 1000% trade thing is cool. And I know that's an attractive title and thumbnail. That's why I made it. But the thing about this 1000% trade is that you would be so much better off selling halfway up there, and then letting it bottom out again, just so you can buy at the complete bottom because you've already made 500%. Because even if you went from 8Z1 to 8Z5 rather than 8Z65 because it topped out at 6.5, even if you sold at 6.5, right? Or at 5, not 6.5. If you sold at 8Z5 right here, and then we go up to 8Z6, that's not even that much of a difference. If you look at it, it's really not. It is about 30% right there. So you're looking at losing out on getting an extra 30%. But when you go from 8Z1 to 8Z5, you just made 500%. So that 30% doesn't matter because you just made 500. So as you make that 500 and then things pull back, boom, they're all the way down to 8Z1. Now you're buying again at the bottom with five $5,000 instead of 1,000. And then it goes back to 8Z5. And then you sell it at 8Z5 again. It might even go up to 8Z7. But one thing about Baby Doge, it always comes back to 8Z1. And that's the moral of the story. I keep trying to tell y'all, like, hey, you can wait and do this 1,000% trade, which is cool. It's cool to do 1,000% trade, but it's even cooler to make your profit, see your profit, and keep your profit. Because just holding it, you're not going to really be able to keep your profit because it keeps going down. It keeps bottoming out, keeps selling off. And there's a reason because we're not getting new holders ever inside of Baby Doge. New holders are not coming in. Right now, we have all of our same holders, okay, and we're not really getting anybody new. And the problem with that is the top whales inside of Baby Doge have the most money, so they have the most pool. We're not getting any new wallets in for the new people. Like we're getting some in, but not enough to make a difference. So what the whales are going to do is when it tops out, they sell because they got in at the bottom, and then they let the price crash. They let all y'all start selling your coins to people, and then you guys start selling it to each other, selling it to exchanges. People start trying to trade it, make some of their money back. It keeps going down, 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 and Baby Doge gets like a few thousand extra holders every month, maybe, possibly. But as that's happening, those few thousand holders every month are getting like $20 worth of Baby Doge, so they're not doing anything. Not really. It's not much, like $20 to $50. So what ends up happening is once it bottoms out, those whales they come back in at the bottom, they buy it back. It pumps to like 8Z16, 8Z2. People are like, oh, yep, it's time to double down. So then they start buying more and more. Some dollar cost averaging, some already sold out, so they just start buying back in completely. And then eventually, the crypto market just keeps getting hyped up. Bitcoin hypes everything else up. Altcoin season comes in. Everybody starts flowing in. And then what do you think happens eventually? It tops out around 8Z5, 8Z6. The same whales and the same, I don't know who's doing it, but the same whales at the top are controlling the Baby Doge prices. When it gets to 8Z6, it's more than likely going to crash. It has a possibility to go further to 8Z7 and 8Z8, 8Z9, 8Z1, and you could make that 1,000% trade. But you just have to be okay with the fact that if it stops at 8Z65, if it stops at 8Z7, it's going to pull all the way back. And then when that happens, you're going to be shit out of luck. All right. You're just going to have to make do. And you're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to wait for the next pump. So just know if you want to do the 1,000% trade, you have two ways of doing it. Your first way is the way that I was talking about, which is ride the wave up to 8Z5, sell at 8Z5, let it go, buy at 8Z1, and then sell at 8Z5, and then let it go up. Like maybe if it goes from 8Z5 to 8Z6, 8Z7, 8Z8, even 7Z1, who cares? You already sold at 8Z5, which is 500% for you. So if you put in 10,000 and sold at 8Z5, that's 50,000, right? So now you have 50,000, then you let it bottom out eventually. It might have even went to 8Z1, but eventually it will, or it might have went to 7Z1, but eventually it will go back to 8Z1. So when it goes back to 8Z1, now you have $50,000. You see what I'm saying? You had a 10,000 before, but now you have 50. And with this $50,000, when you buy in at 8Z1 again, all you have to do is wait for it to go up again around 8Z5, 8Z6, and then you sell it again at 8Z5. So now 5Xing on your 50,000. So now when you're 5Xing, you're going from 50,000 to 250,000 because 50,000 times 5 is 250,000. So now you're going from 50,000 to 250,000. Now you can let it go up again once you have already sold. Then you start to see it go up to 8Z6, 8Z7. You're thinking, oh, I should have held. But you're like, no, I'm not going to trade emotionally. I'm going to just let it bottom out. And then boom, when it happens again, it eventually bottoms out to 8Z1 again. Now you have $250,000. Then at that point, you can, what I would do personally, I would take out 50,000 of it and I guess live off of that for the time being and then put the 200,000 back in at 8Z1. And then the 200,000 at 8Z1 when it goes back to 8Z5, 1 million. So you can do this 1,000% trade either way, but it's much better to rinse and repeat it at the halfway point, which is 8Z5. So buy in at 8Z1, sell at 8Z5, rinse and repeat. Let it drop down to the bottom, buy it again, 8Z1, sell it at 8Z5, rinse and repeat. After you do it 2 times, you got your 1,000% trade. After you do it your 4th time, you have your 2,000% trade. So if this doesn't tell you anything, I think that people should just realize how Baby Doge moves. Once you start to understand how the charts move with this project, you will then see what I'm saying because it's almost like textbook how it happens. It has a really big pump and then it literally dumps almost immediately after. Now sometimes it doesn't get all the way to 8Z5. Like if you would have tried to do it between the times of 2022, well, no, this was like going into 2023. So from like 2023 to about recently 2024, then you wouldn't have been able to really get anything out of it. But it worked for 2021, and for this year, it also went up to similar levels. Actually, it went all the way up to 5,600. So if you would have gotten out at 5, you would have been good. So yeah, 8Z5 is like that middle range for us. So this is pretty much all I got for y'all today. Though I just kind of wanted to bring the strategy to y'all. Again, this is just for me personally, not for anyone else. Y'all do what y'all want. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Make your own decisions. Do your own research. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. And as always, I'll be back with another video.